Episode 1. Dungeon Discovery Extended. On May 11, 2240, the world was shaken when 4 mysterious dungeons suddenly appeared across the planet. One was buried deep beneath a forest, another submerged in the depths of the sea, a third hovered ominously in the sky above United High School, and the final one lay hidden within an active volcano. The government quickly scrambled to investigate these bizarre structures, dispatching elite forces to secure the areas and uncover the dungeons' secrets. At United High School, 7 curious students Ligo, Weishi, Filu, Ariano, Earthina, Ishi, and Mikono were confined in lockdown due to the strange floating ring above their school. Despite the strict lockdown, their curiosity was too strong to ignore. Ligo, the calm and protective leader, couldn't shake the feeling that something bigger was happening, something that no one was telling them. Mikono, always reliable and level-headed, supported him in convincing the others to sneak out. "Are you sure we should do this?" Weishi whispered nervously, her shy nature making her hesitant. "What if we get caught?" Filu, hot-headed and always ready for action, shrugged. "We've come this far. Let's not back down now," he said with a determined look, while Ariano, calm and swift, agreed with a quiet nod. Earthina, caring and always the voice of optimism, put her hand on Weishi's shoulder. "We'll be fine. We'll stick together, and everything will work out." Ishi, the wild one of the group, was already way ahead, scouting the path toward the floating ring. "Come on, stop overthinking. Let's get going before they realize we're gone," she called out impatiently. The group followed Ishi's lead, sneaking through the school grounds until they reached the edge of the lockdown zone. As they got closer to the ring, they hid behind a large rock, where they overheard a tense conversation between government officials. The governor had ordered elite robots to investigate the dungeons, including the floating ring. The students listened in shock as they realized that the government wasn't just dealing with their school, they were tackling anomalies all over the world. Mikono's sharp mind quickly processed what they were hearing. "It's not just our school," he whispered. "This is global." Suddenly, before they could react, a tall man in dark government attire stepped out from the shadows. He moved swiftly, grabbing Filu by the arm. Filu instinctively tried to fight back, but Ligo intervened. "Stop," he ordered, stepping between them. His protective instincts kicked in as he stood up to the man, who introduced himself as the supervisor of all the government agents involved in the investigation. "You kids shouldn't be here," the supervisor said, eyeing them sternly. "The situation is under control. Go back before you get in over your heads." Ligo didn't back down. "What's really happening here?" he asked calmly, trying to get more information. "We know this isn't just about the floating ring." Before the supervisor could answer, his earpiece crackled with a sharp disturbance. His expression changed as he received an urgent update. Meanwhile, across the globe, the elite robots had entered the dungeons. For the first 20 minutes, they encountered and destroyed small, hostile creatures without much trouble. But then, something changed. An ominous, unseen force began to emerge from within each dungeon. The sky darkened over the earth, and this overwhelming energy, invisible to government sensors, began to dismantle the robotic teams with terrifying efficiency. One by one, the robots were destroyed, their communication signals disappearing into silence. The government's plans were falling apart. The supervisor received the final, urgent message from HQ, "Report immediately." Turning back to the students, he locked them inside a nearby cabin, warning them to stay put. "Don't make me come back for you," he said sternly before rushing off. Once the supervisor was gone, Filu kicked at the door in frustration. "We can't just sit here," he snapped. Ligo quickly took control of the situation. "Filu, calm down." "Mikono, any ideas?" Mikono, always reliable, surveyed their surroundings. "There's a weak point in the back wall," he said, gesturing for Ariano to help. "We can break through there." Filu, still fuming but focused, helped Mikono and Ariano as they worked swiftly. Meanwhile, Earthina encouraged Weishi, who was nervous about what might happen next. "We'll get through this. Just stick with us," she said with a comforting smile. Ishi, wild as always, was already pacing around the room. "We're not waiting for that guy to come back," she muttered. "Let's get out of here." Once they broke through the weak point in the wall, the group made their escape. But just as they were about to make a run for it, the floating ring above the school began to pulse with a bright green light. "What's happening?" Weishi asked, her eyes wide with fear. The glowing intensified, and before anyone could react, the students were lifted off the ground by a powerful force, sucked into the heart of the ring. Ariano, swift as always, reached for Weishi's hand as they were pulled upward, while Ligo shouted for everyone to stay together. The last thing they heard was the deafening hum of the ring as the world around them blurred into a brilliant flash of green light. Their fates now intertwined with the mysteries of the dungeons, their adventure was only beginning.